Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. For tonight, it is going to have to be once again, that foils me. My Stream Deck holder just collapsed. It's obviously been under a lot of stress lately, obviously with the scandal coming out and everything. But we're all here to support it. We know the allegations are not true. Stream Deck, we absolve thee of all sin. That's not a cross, it's just me waving my hand in the air in a random way. Brethren, sistren, those who do not like to be pigeonholed, welcome in. Welcome in to the E-Chapel once again. And the 23 is coming, is in the, I always get the hand wrong, is in the corner of the screen there. And it's indicating the 23 is coming. TF2 Real Gamer 2022 is in the chat, which is always good. Support me through this. This evening, the 23 is coming, is an extra special one, because that is not just counting down to 23, which obviously we have every service, or every service I remember anyway, which should be every service. But tonight it is a countdown to doom, the end of the service. For I have been travelling, because it may surprise you to know I have a day job, brother and sister and pigeonholed. I have a job, and the job sent me away, and I am back. But of course we must have our service, and at the head of our service we must have, of course, the disclaimer, which we should get onto immediately because we haven't got much time. All acts of discordianism portrayed herein are for spiritual entertainment purposes only. No spiritual enlightenment or transcendental experiences offered or implied. Leaps of faith and logical backflips are performed by trained sophists. Do not attempt to recreate them at home. Any resemblance to other religions, alive, dead, or merely untenable, is entirely coincidental. Hail Eris and immanentize the eschaton. Brands of Discordian society, all associated with intellectual property rights, are probably also wrongs just the way they are these days. If not! Oh, was that the fastest we've ever done the disclaimer? I don't know. Order of service. We're going to do deep thoughts. Oh, I've left Faces of Eris. In fact, we're not doing Faces of Eris. The goddess is out. And in fact, there's a very specific place that the goddess is at tonight, and I will tell her that. Did a layover write that? You mean, yes, we got our finest layovers on the job. We have a cohort of pristine Siamese layovers, and they write us all our disclaimers here at the SWDP. We're going to have Reflective Tarot, very short candle, which is probably going to be impacted by the fact that we need to get the weekly sacrament done. As 23 arrives, we shall say farewell to this first service of the new month. But yes, of course, and that is our deep thought pertains to today. The deep thinker is considering we got a big focus on the 23 this month, and as you will have noted from the title screen, the new month is here, and it is called You'll Be Good. I'm going to write it in the chat. Don't remember the 23. What? There you go. This month's month. It's official. It's in the chat, or it will be in a second. You'll be good. New-vember is no more. New-vember is now old-vember. And we are marching forward into the future, filled with vim, filled with vigour, filled with the spirit of you'll be good. And there we go. It's a lame pun. But sometimes that's how months come out. You know, way back at the beginning of my renaming of months in the name of the SWDP, we had Locktober, which happened during 2020. So, you know, there it is. And I just thought, you know, tonight it would be a thing to talk about the months. Maybe we should talk about that, because I sort of mentioned it, I guess, in the past. But this is probably a good time to explain it as any. It's a little bit of chaos magic that you are free to invest in. Now, last week, was it? Or the week before? I think it was last week. We were looking at the Psychonauts manual. And as they said, one of the greatest tools in your arsenal as a chaos magician or mystic, whatever you want to do. I'm a mystic. I don't make any bones about that. And the difference is this: I think the magician attempts to shape the world to their will, which I don't really feel the need to do that. You know, I say the greatest tool is AI. Very nice. Yeah, okay. A point for consideration in a short while, but I'll finish my original thought before we go on there. But yeah, they say, well, the psychonauts might say belief is the greatest tool, and it is sort of and mysticism, magic and mysticism. Oh, you managed to really confuse me then. Well done. Yeah, so a magician attempts to impose their will upon reality, whereas a mystic attempts to surf the chaos wave by listening to the sounds of reality. So I would say the process of divining the month name, which is like I don't entirely month name, I gotta say. I would say as a mystic I get more of a veto. The month's names come to me and I'm like, nah, not doing that. Nah, that sounds like trouble. Nah, whatever. But the minute there's one that sounds half reasonable, I'm there. I'll just put that down. That's what it is. We're in for the month, yeah? And that's the process that's evolved. And I don't know why it is, but over time, 4 years or so we're at the moment. I started it in April of 2020, so it has been 4 years and will be 5 years next year. And over time, the sort of flow of it reversed out from me just giving the months funny names to cope with lockdown to me receiving a name, assigning it to the month, and then the month having a particular, you know, something would come out of the month. And last month, the way that it manifested is that I found myself in these deep thought sections not really able to do anything, because if I was going to do something, it had to be new and not old. And so that's what happened in new-vember. But we're in a new month now. You'll be good. And we're doing a new thing, which is this week, because of my arrangements where I had to be romping all over the country, we're doing a 23-minute service, so that'll be good. And tonight as well, I know we're not doing Faces of Eris, but I know where the goddess is, and where she is dancing in the skies above South Wales right now, and I'm not just saying that lightly. We have a red weather warning, which, as the news interminably tells us, means a threat to life. And we've even had the government's warning system used. I am suspecting more on the side of, hey, we get to use the emergency warning system, and less on the side of actually really super needing to. I mean, maybe I'm a bit cynical, but that's the way it seems to me. But they are telling us, don't go outside for the next 18 hours or so. Do not go outside. If you're outside, get inside, and if you're inside, stay inside, and if you're inside, don't go outside. That is the basic tenor of the message here. And so where else would Eris be? Remember, boys and girls and those who don't want to make up your mind, that Eris doesn't control chaos, because nobody controls chaos. Eris is merely a god vibe that appreciates the enormous god-shattering power of chaos and delights within it. Also, did you see the American healthcare CEO or something was killed? I've seen what's mostly gone viral about this, Elon Musk's tweets about that. Also 23, yes, absolutely, very good. So yeah, he's been tweeting, it's not cool or base to kill CEOs, you're making me cry. Because despite being a billionaire in his 50s, Elon Musk does not understand that if he makes a statement about how, well, first of all, he did make a very Randian statement about how CEOs make the world turn round, which, sorry Elon, there's a lot of evidence to the contrary of that, and also that he had it coming and all of this, and he's got quite upset about this, and you know, if you're Elon Musk, people are going to troll you about this shit, bro. So the last thing you want to do is just like react to it and keep going, no, it is bad. And then lots of people tweet at you, because I refuse to say X at you. They tweet at you like, oh no, man, it's well, as you've said, yeah, he had it coming. Just saying. Now I don't have much of an opinion. I'm not familiar with the person, and it would be nice if we had ways of solving our problems without, shooting them or whatever. But I don't know if he was shot. You see, this is how little I know about it. I just know he was killed, and that Elon Musk is quite upset about it. Those are the two things I know about this situation. And the point is, it's like yet another instance where, you'd think a man in his middle 50s who knows that he's got an enormous platform full of trolls, that if he says that he thought that the CEO getting killed was bad, or was good rather, then all these people would pile in and say, well, how you heartless bastard. And if he says the other thing, a load of people pile in, and yeah, after he was killed, the stock price went up. I love that. I said, what, 5-6 weeks ago, before, actually it was longer than that, before the old American leckies, I said, the world just gets weirder every week. Every week, the world just gives you so much evidence of the presence of chaos on multiple levels. You don't have to scratch very hard to get beneath the surface. So yeah, there we are. And tonight, Eris dances in the clouds above South Wales as the winds fast enough to kill a man rage over our beautiful coastline. So I will be staying in and eating treats and watching stuff on the telly, and then going to bed, and then waiting for it all literally to blow over. The last act I did before entering the house for this sojourn was go and buy some milk, because we like to drink milk in this house. So there we are. So that is all great. Have fun though. Well, the funny thing is, I work for a company where one of these sort of company retreats. I hope you have a great weekend. Well, I hope you have a great weekend too. But the company retreats are actually not so much of a chore. But unfortunately, this one's team building exercise was a bit of a chore. But it was all right. I mean, I would veer away from noting that it was acceptable, because they made us walk up and down the banks of the Thames. In a town called Reading, which is near London, and the rains of late have made the Thames bank somewhat squishy, and my shoes were not really built for that, and I spent most of the time dancing around what could charitably be called enormous puddles, but actually it was just like massive spontaneous bodies of water. So yeah, I was not a fan of that, but the rest of it was quite good, and I partake in these things with enthusiasm. And indeed, what's really weird to me about it is that most of my shoes are made out of tree. I wanted some new shoes, and they did say bring shoes for walking around in the wet. But I tell you, you would have needed specialist foot. Waders would not have been out of the question if you wanted to keep your feet and lower legs dry. And it was nuts. And it wasn't that the people who did the thing had planned it. They didn't plan, it's going to be, flooding and blah. No, they didn't plan it, but it just happened that way, and I just didn't like it. They're like sandals, but with a metal tip. Tree shoes. That sounds like an excellent item of footwear. I am, of course, now going for soft and comfy slippers for the rest of the evening. My feet will be like they are on little fluffy clouds. So I did that, and I partake in that, and we had wonderful work-related conversations, and I'm not even being ironic. And we also had non-work-related. And I went to a bar in the evening with the work outing. And I think that the bar would probably not want me to tell you that it was wonderful. Me and two of my other 50-year-old colleagues sat on a comfy sofa and drank beer and whiskey, and the music wasn't too loud, and we talked about sci-fi, which was really great for us. But I don't think any bar or night spot really wants to encourage the idea. Yes, if you're in your 50s, like to drink a moderate amount of beer and whiskey and discuss sci-fi, come here. It won't be too loud and you won't get hassled by people. That's not what I think the bar and hospitality nightclub industry call an atmosphere. In fact, the reverse. But there we go. So we did that. So that was cool. That's how life is. Try to say Tresco. It's like we've got a supermarket chain called Tesco, so it's not that difficult. Okay, so we'll move on. Oh, this like got out of sync again. There we go. Good. Right, we're going to do reflective tarot right now. I have the tarot pre-shuffled and cut to the appropriate card, which I don't know what it is. It's right here. Get ready. Here it is. Oh, now how wonderful. What a wonderful vibe for the beginning. Also, my instructor tell him I couldn't come because he was tired. Oh, you know what I mean. Yeah, okay. This is not compulsory. Attending live is not compulsory. You know how it is, you know. So, yeah, Wheel of Fortune. What a great card to have for a week's vibe. Especially, well, it's probably not great for everybody, but for us in the SWDP, for Discordians, the Wheel of Fortune is absolutely, it's the ratification, the X, card X10, it's the numeral, but yeah, X, card X. Yeah, so I would seriously reflect upon that as a blessing for this week. We have been blessed, brethren, sistren, pigeonholed. We have been breast. We have been breast. We have been blessed. We have been something else that rhymes with breast and blessed. Breast is best. Put it to the test with some zest. Okay, I'm going to stop now. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune, of course, the card that says what goes up must come down. What is in must go out. What is out must go in. You make chaos, you'll produce order. You produce order, you will make chaos. It is the great wheel. So yes, it's really a blessing. I guess it's a blessing for everyone. It says, hey man, it's the distillation of this too shall pass. Yeah, as the parable says, the king asked his jeweler to give him something that he could look at, that when he was in his best of moods, feeling his greatest, it would bring him down to earth. And when he was at his lowest and in the pits of despair, it would raise him up. And so the jeweler made him a ring, and on the inside surface of the ring was carved, "This too shall pass." And that is the Wheel of Fortune. If you're up, don't get cocky. It'll pass. If you're down, don't be downhearted. It'll pass. And yes, the real Wheel of Fortune is gambling. Gambling is like distilling that process, except, of course, as we know, the phrase is the house always wins. And if the house always wins, when people say it's a game of chance, it's not really a game of chance. No casino will ever play a game of chance with you, because there is then a chance you might win. So also fun fact, maybe everything you do in life, you have a 50% chance of working. Everything in life, yeah, it does boil down to that. I mean, obviously the Cadillac of poker, Texas Hold'em, there's a point in the, well, if you go heads up, two cards in Texas Hold'em poker, before any of the cards are on the table, the odds of you winning that hand, no matter what kind of crap you actually have in that two cards on the table, the odds of you winning at that point are 50-50. They only alter where... Another fact, 0 is not a number. That is debatable. That is debatable, because what you say is you can make a definition of number where 0 is not one of them. Cool. But you can also make a plausible definition of number where it is a number. And usually the case there would be made for the fact that 0 has proven to be of immense utility in solving tricky situations in whole number mathematics. That using 0, the invention of 10. Yeah, the 0 is in that case a placeholder, but what alternative is there that is satisfactory? And the answer is that is that brings clarity to the situation where you don't have 1, you have 10. Yeah, it's like impossible. Now the 0 itself, it signifies an absence, but I mean 10 is not 0. I'm talking about 0. Yeah, but if you let the 0 into the 10, then you have to acknowledge that it serves some function as a numeric value, which kind of means you have to let it into the number club. I mean, as well as which, it's very useful to denote that all your sheep have been stolen, because the police could say, so how many sheep do you have left? And you have 0, duck egg, no sheep left, they stole them all. Yeah, it performs functions as a number. It's a funky number because it's not odd or even. Yeah, that's right. And you can't have it cannot be expressed negatively. So it is like 0 is in a set of numbers by itself, a certain set. Yeah, but you know what? You win. I changed my mind. Okay. I was saying, to be fair, I haven't changed my mind, but as we say, all statements are true in some sense, false in some sense, and meaningless in some sense. The supposition that 0 is not a number is true in some sense, and false in some sense, and in some sense it is completely meaningless. So you don't need to change your mind, you just need to embrace the paradox, live within the wheel of fortune. It's all tied together. We got 1 minute 48 that was essentially Kandar just there, and a very fruitful Kandar it was too, but we got to do the sacrament so that 23 can arrive after we've done it. So let's get it together. Get your preferably strawberry flavoured sacramental substitute. I love that. I love that we have that house rule. Sacrament can be anything, but it's preferable that it's strawberry flavoured. I always love that. I'm always gonna love that. And if there's ever a book of SWDP house rules, that will be one of the chief rules. You know, you don't have to use an actual hot dog, but if you replace it with a metaphorical substitute, it should be flavoured of strawberries. But not an actual strawberry, because if there's one thing strawberries aren't, it's... I mean, you can use literally anything. A piece of dry pasta, anything that you can maybe chew and swallow. It's all good. We like strawberry, but we're not saying it's the be-all and end-all. The be-all and the end-all is that you can join in with the sacramental invocation and do this. I could not find a hot dog, not even with a bun. So I eat this candy noodle, because devotion comes with fun. With 23 seconds to go till 23. Makes those seconds slip by all the sweeter. It is. Oh, what a way. To be fair, brace for 23. We are here. This is it. The glory of Eris. So, to summarise where we find ourselves in the first week of You'll Be Good, is that the goddess of chaos dances above us while winds that kill a man howl around the hometown of the SWDP. We've done a 23-minute service and ended in 23. And we have decided that 0 is a number, is not a number, and the concept of 0 being either a number or not is meaningless. And that is what we have to meditate on, that and the Wheel of Fortune. So, TF2 Real Gamer, you, in a very real way, made the service tonight. My brother and my sister, and those that can't be bothered to come up with an answer to that on the questionnaire, just other. Yeah, all of you, freaks, geeks, every one of you totally unique. The love of the goddess is here in the howling winds, and I shall see you with maybe a longer service, or quite like this format. But no, I'm not going to do this every week and cheap out. We were going to do a proper service next week. But thank you for coming. Hail Eris. And stay strong. That one.